All right, guys. I feel like you guys know who we are, but we are Stephanie and Joel Dunn, and we are excited. We've been in for next month. Will be
I
12
know, my
years,
gosh.
and we just got back from an amazing event. It was the Winner's Circle, and so we were surrounded by people that got to work and won this contest, and it was not by title but by work. And so it was any diamonds and above got to do that, got to win, have the opportunity to win that. And it was just crazy to see like
Yeah.
diamonds and
So
above
I'll
there.
just give
Like
you my
that's
aha already
you're
was
gonna steal
the
mine.
fact that you guys could be there.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
was so amazing is that it was all over the board.
Mhm.
So that's what was so exciting for me.
Yeah. First, Key, I love you. I see you right on. Um, you guys, her mama passed away and she's on. I think a lot of you know that, but you are in our prayers. I love you, seeing you on this. Her mama was like, she'd be proud of her working and being surrounded by good people. So here you are, front and center, the first one on my screen, and I say, see you. So I had to say that first because we love you. And yes, this is business, but you guys, this is family. This is we we absolutely do this because we love you guys, and it brings me joy. It's why we fight so hard. So anyway, I could not say something. So anyway, we just love you. I'm virtually hugging you, and you know that. But um, it just made me think too, going back, like looking at the Winner's Circle, like Joel said, it's. I think for me, what I saw was you get to write your story, you get to choose. And the stories that we heard, I felt like I got to know people all over the place. And I know Liz can speak for this too, because I wanted to bring her on because she soaked it up. I want to make sure, where is Liz at? Is she going to be able to unmute?
Yep.
Okay. So I just want to make sure she's on. But it was incredible to hear some of these stories. I'm not going to go through all of the stories because we're going to bring these girls on. It lit a fire under me like no other. And it just reminded me when I went around the room, and I shared this when Mark asked if there was any ahas or anything to say, what it was. And mine was looking in the room, and there was no mold for it other than they worked. And I'm not afraid, you guys, to ask people what they're doing. I went around the room, I went around different places and did that. But my aha was different ages, different sizes, different backgrounds. One of the girls that I'm going to bring on that I just adored, she was in a fire and she went diamond in 30 days. She had pins in her hands and just used her thumbs to text message, and her name's Cassandra. I don't know if she talked on I haven't even watched the recap Zoom from the other night. So Liz, if she did talk, was she on or no? Did she share? Okay. So this is going to be a treat because I told her you are going to be on our Zoom because she inspired the heck out of me. And it was just a reminder of we get to do this. We get to do whatever we want. We have the tools that we need. And a lot of it is our mindset, getting our mindset right to go, I believe that I can do this. And you have a whole group of us cheering you on, believing in you, and knowing that you can do it, and then putting that work behind it. And I don't think it was anything like magical. I think people think, what are they doing? Are they like unicorns and they're rare? And there was nothing magical other than they worked. And so if you want to call that, that's the magic potion. They had down no excuses, and they made a decision. And that's what I want you guys to know is that excites me, looking around going, there's no reason that you can't be at the island. There's no reason. If you make a decision, you can do that. I believe that wholeheartedly, seeing that. So that was kind of an aha for me. And I'm going to bring Liz on here in a second because she's going to share some things, but I'm excited to share for my people. I'm going to see, do you guys still think that you can talk to people in person and sign people up on the spot? Is my question in the comments. Do you think that you can still do that? Is that possible? And
if you're afraid to do that, put a question mark.
yeah, are you afraid to talk to people in person? Because I feel like COVID happened. We're so social media driven, and I love social media. Don't get me wrong. We have so many more tools than ever. But I'm going to tell you guys a story. I was in the elevator, and I love people. You guys know that I feel more connected when we're actually in person, and I can hug you. I can see your eyes. I get to know you. But we were in the elevator, going down to dinner or something. I don't even know where we're headed for one of the It Works nights. And the girl said, "Oh, I like your sweater," that was standing there. And I said, "Oh, thanks." We just started chatting. She goes, "Are you on vacation?" I said, "No, I'm actually part of It Works. Like, have you ever heard of it?" And she said, "Yeah, I used to do it like 4 years ago, but I just kind of got and didn't do anything." I said, "You need to come back. Like, so much has changed. I'm excited. Like, it's only $20 to join right now. And you guys know that if you bought your conference ticket, you have the codes." And so I was super excited. I'm like, "We've got so many different products." I'm like, "You should totally do this. What's your phone number? Like, let's get you going." You guys, she signed on the spot. I got her information on the phone. I met with her and I said, "You know what? I'm going out to dinner." So I was texting back and forth with her, "But I want to meet with you. I want to give you a couple samples." So that night, I actually took a picture. I'm going to show you guys that you can still do this. And it kind of lit a fire under me to show you guys that anything is possible when you decide to do that. I'll find it in a second when Liz is talking. But so I met with her that morning. And here's what I know, you guys, is connection, relationships, having that one-on-one time with her meant more to her than anything. And then she said, and I didn't say, "Oh, I'm the number one earner. This is who I am." And did I?
Mm-mm.
I said, "I wish I would have had a recording so you guys could have heard." You got to practice. You're like, I think I
Elevator.
did a,
It's an elevator pitch,
yeah, and I
guys.
think I
An
did
actual elevator pitch.
I think I did 10 seconds. Like, you guys know I talk fast anyway, but it was like, I just excited. And so I think, how can you be excited? What are you passionate about? What do you love? And you can create that if you feel like it kind of fizzled out. You get to decide and to be excited. And so um doing that, seeing that got me excited. And so getting into the relationship part of it. And I said, when I met with her the next day, well, she did say, "Well, who," like, I said, "Well, yeah, I'm Stephanie and this is Joel." And she said, I think I watched some of your videos back then, but I didn't really do anything." And so when I met her, this is super helpful for me to share with you guys too. So when we're walking new distributors on how to do the business, is I met with her that morning. I said, "Just give me like 20 to 30 minutes if you have time." And so she met with me and she was there for a wedding. I already know her whole life story. She goes, and I had her pull out her phone and download the apps. That was the first thing that we did. So I made sure that she could log in and get started. So make sure that you're always telling them to download the It Works Connect app, the It Works Sample app, and then boards, because that will save so much for them, because newbies are afraid. They don't know how to talk to people, and they're not sure if they put a post up, like, how to explain the product, what's the pricing, how do we do without all that.
Guys, we've been in for 12 years and we still use boards to make it easy.
Yeah. So I think knowing that, so she went ahead and she logged in and she sent herself a sample. So it reminded me, make sure you're letting that new distributor know to make sure that they send a sample so that they can get the product themselves, or they can send it out to people that they know, or they can sell it. So I gave her the options. And she was super outgoing, works 3 jobs. And so she's ready to give up one of those jobs and really to work with this. And so I said, use me. That's what I'm here for. So when you're having these conversations with people, you need to let them know, "Hey, I'm here for you. Drive me crazy. This is my job. I love that." This is the only time in my life that you're going to hear me say, "Use me." Right. So it's exciting when they're doing that. So she did all that. And she's like, "Wow, this is so easy." I had her physically go through everything because I wanted them to do it themselves. And so she got to see how to do that. She logged in. I told her to go look at all the product. What were some of her goals? Because we have a lot of different product. And she said weight loss. Actually, I'm getting with a trainer some weight loss goals. And she's not a coffee drinker. So I said, perfect. You're going to do the slimming gummies, the cleanse, the TFX, and that was it.
Mhm.
That's what she started with. But all her coffee, she knew her sister loves coffee. She knew already who she was going to contact for some product to be some of her first customers. So now with those customers, and you guys know there's 5 customers right now in that week, you get $100. So not only does she get the $100, one more, she'll get the free shopping. Free shopping's for the 150. So that's a lot. She was shocked that she could make $100 in just a short period of time and get paid out that next week. So I'm running through all of these things with all of these new promotions in person, just watching her and seeing is this simple? Is this duplicatable? Can we make this work? And that's where I got excited for you. I was like, I got to get on Zoom. I like literally, we just got home from the airport, you guys. So I'm tired, but there's so much in me that I was like, I need to share with you guys because I'm so excited about that. So make sure you guys get a business card, do something. If you see somebody that's friendly, the waitresses, we used to talk about this all the time. They may not want, this might be their second or third job. They may not want that. They may be looking for something else. So if you haven't, make sure you just put on your name. Maybe you put, social media influencer, it works rep, whatever. We can come up with a few different names that you want to call yourself and put those in the chat. But
anytime we went to a restaurant with a group, it was always a fight to see who would be the first one to talk to the server. We need to get back to that, guys. There's so many people's lives that have been servers that we've changed that it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So that was kind of the first, like, I wanted to get back to that, to go, if you're feeling stuck or you're feeling like, how do I get moving different? You got to create it. So I was looking, like, you guys, with my Instagram still down, nothing's going to stop me. I could either decide to just be like, okay, I'm done. I've got Facebook, but maybe I'm just done. And I was like, no, I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to sign people up. And this is how I'm going to do it. And then guess what? She does TikTok. So I'm excited because she's like, oh my gosh, I can go back to TikTok. So whatever their strength is, you want to work with them and their strength. So I might not be a mass TikToker, but she is. So when you're talking to people, like if you're not a TikToker yet, but you are talking to people at the mall, at the restaurants, just out and about, whatever, you may find somebody that is what you're looking for and you didn't even realize that. So you guys really make sure that you're utilizing all of that. And I know some of the names on the top I'm seeing right now, like Katrina, I was like, oh my gosh, some of my girls, like some of us that have been around, I see Jessica Delgado, like talking about that. Yes, we just need to get back out. I'm not saying that's for everybody, because I think when I went into the pool area and shared what we had done, all the girls, especially young ones, they're like, we just do social media. They were just floored that I talked to somebody and signed them up on the spot. Now, conversations are always going to be different. I'm not always going to sign someone on the spot. So remember that, like, you hear the highlights of the stories. That just happened to be one that I was like, God's using me right now to come back to share a story to make sense of, okay, there's still other options to do that. And I love when he does that for me, when I listen and I just do. So that was exciting. And then I'll share another story of what happened a couple of days after that. But I want to bring Liz on because that was just a piece of what I saw, kind of the aha of making a decision. Stories stood out, like sharing our stories and just deciding. But Liz, we're going to give you some tips of what we learned too, because we sure did. But Liz, can you unmute yourself? And then she wrote the notes down. So first off, what was your like, oh my gosh, what did you think?
Oh, I was overwhelmed. When I first came, I was like very timid. I think Joel watched me. I was kind of just watching the room, and then I started to acclimate in. So being nervous is normal. Getting to these events is normal. But after we ate dinner, I think my first aha moment was getting in that circle and meeting that one girl with a more Southern accent than I. And she was like, hey, y'all, I'm going to sit down with Stephanie Dunn. And she was bold. And I was like, okay, so if she can do it, I can do it, because I'm with Stephanie and I'm beside her. So I need to be just like mimicking some of these behaviors. I think we get into the atmosphere of being nervous, and we're so worried about who likes us and what we have on, and does this makeup look right? Okay, guys, I haven't got my eyebrows waxed in like forever, and I went down to Florida and met Rachel Jones. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you look like, it's all about what you say, right? So that was like my first aha moment, is that you have to follow what God lays on your heart. Keyword, what God lays on your heart. And so I didn't go with no fancy bags or luggage. If you know me, I came in with a backpack that Stephanie and Joel gave me like a year ago, and a gym bag. So I came very low maintenance, but I came with the most important thing, which was a notepad. And you guys, I have notes for days. And I wanted to get in the winner's circle and learn. And so that's exactly what I did. Was the aha moment was be yourself And the other one is bring someone, if you win, bring that person that killed it with you. That was the amazing part, like Joel was saying, that diamond or double diamond that was just working the business with an ambassador, or a black diamond, like whatever the case may have been, there were people there. So inspire your team, reach down to the diamonds. And I know that a lot of people want to be at Winner's Circle and you want to take your friend because that's who your bestie or whatever, but take that person that's working the business with you, because I saw fire from all levels. Like, it was phenomenal. I was shaking listening to you talk, Stephanie, because I thought about the elevator. I thought about hearing the stories of Cassandra and not even knowing that she had all that going on because she was so amazing. Like, the stories that happen, I soaked it all up. Your story matters. And that was the next thing, is that your story matters. Remember why you joined, and don't be ashamed of where you're coming from, because those stories, I think my mouth dropped out, and I looked at Stephanie and I think she caught my mouth wide open, because I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I sat at the back of the room so I could observe it all just to see. And it was, your story matters. There was a girl who lost her husband, and saved her life due to this business. Like, this business is more than a click. It's more than an income. It's Ohana, it's family. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. So that was another one. And be around the fire. And if you don't have the fire, make the fire. That's legit what it is. If you have something going on and you can't be around people, try your best to make the fire happen. I told Stephanie I need to be around her like once a month, because as soon as I got there, it was like, oh, you can sign distributors and customers. So get around the fire. And maybe you can't be with Stephanie and Joel, but you can be around your upline. You can be around someone who can bring the fire to you. I think of fire, I could say the trends. I just saw Amanda's face. It's like they bring the fire. So who can you get around to bring fire to you? So never just think that, oh, I got to sit in the house. Community is important. I've heard it over and over again. And I've got to now, I have to text Joel and Stephanie about it, but it's about the pinky finger. And I was at church and it talked about the pinky finger. And most of us think we're the pinky finger. And the pinky finger, what you don't know, is 50% of your strength of your hand. So if it was to fall off tomorrow, half your hand wouldn't work. And so as you think that you're no one in this business, remember that you're the pinky and you're 50% of your team. So show up and glow up, like work every day as if there is something that you're going to miss. Don't wait for the promos to happen. Don't wait for Stephanie and Joel to call you and say, what's going on? Just keep it going. Keep that fire within yourself. And it doesn't have anything to do with Winner's Circle, has everything to do with you wanting it. And so that was like another one. So do you want me to share some tips now?
Yeah, hold on one second, because I want you guys to do something that we haven't done in a while, is going back and what is your story? Writing it out. Maybe it's changed. Take the time to do that tonight, this weekend, even after the Winner's Circle. And Liz, I made her take a bazillion pictures. She probably wants to shoot me, but I already have like these pictures of the girls, and I know their story, and I can't wait to share each and every one of your stories. And so if we can upload those, because we're all different, and it's important to see different backgrounds all the way around, different ages, sizes, it doesn't matter. But I want to make sure that you have a picture that you want. We're putting these in the pages or getting them to your upline so that we can be loud about who you are and what it's done for you. And maybe you're new and you don't even know yet, but where are you going? What are you excited about? Are you excited about that $100? Are you excited about going Ruby? Start speaking those things. And I think sometimes we heard it a lot, is ignorance on fire, because, when you're new, you don't really know what you're doing. You just know, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. You're just loud and you're excited, and people are attracted to that because you're excited and you don't even know what's going on. You're just like, what? And I feel like that to me. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, you just got to do this. Like, this is just fun. And try not to think of all the details, because then we start comparing ourselves. We start thinking, like Liz said, she dresses a certain way. She looks like this. Oh my gosh, she signs 800 distributors. I can't do that. You'll start to doubt yourself rather than just be yourself. And so making sure that you understand that, write down your story. It matters. It's going to change, and you're going to add to it, and that's okay. And if you're stuck, then that's what we're here to do. Is we're gonna do a just a Zoom story Zoom, just all about how to build the stories. We haven't done it in a while. I know there's other leaders that are really good at doing that, but I don't care if whoever wants to hop on and learn and share those things. I want to make sure that you guys have something like that to do, because it was just so good. So I did see that. I saw Liz sitting around the room listening and seeing that it didn't matter. There wasn't a mold that she had to be. And that was super exciting. Before we jump into some of the tips, one of the things that I want you guys to do is making a decision of, you're going to ask questions. You're going to ask the questions. I looked around the room and I sat down, and people were kind of all over the place. And there was a couple sitting up high, and I said, no, here we're all on the same level. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that you all, just because I'm have a title up here doesn't mean that I'm different. I've worked my way up there, but I will sit on the same level as you and make you feel included. And so when you're around people, bring them in, draw them in, sit in a circle. And so we sat in a circle where kind of some people are out, and it made them feel comfortable. It made them believe. And so when you're talking to people, that's the connection part, where I feel like Zoom might lack that a little bit. I
mean, I can't, as much as I want, come through and hug every single one of you through the computer. It doesn't convey the exact same way. I mean, I can shake the computer and hopefully you feel that. But that's the thing, is being around people, you transfer energy. Physical energy transfers. This I can only give you raw energy and knowledge through. But the actual physical energy transfers when you're sitting in a circle, when you're sitting around other people. And that's why everyone gets so much more excited, is because of the fact that that energy builds from person to person to person.
Yeah, it's like that spark, and it just lights you on fire. And so it made me go, we need to get back into going and renting rooms and doing tickets. And I'm going to start doing that again. I just love it. If I'm somewhere, we're going to start doing some of those things. So we're going to start asking some questions of, hey, who are you? Are you close to this city? Where are you at? Because there's a lot of you that I feel like I know you, but I've never met you. And if people want to drive in and be around that, that's fine. There's some people that'll just do social, like Zooms, and that's totally fine too. But I just want you guys to know, even if it's through a text, bring the people in, stay connected as best that we can. And we're not perfect by any means. I know there's a lot that I could be doing, but it was eye-opening getting them to go around and then me asking them questions. So what are your questions? Don't be afraid to ask the questions. So if you were in a circle with these winners, what would be the questions you would ask? Even if it's just one question, always come prepared. The person with the question is probably the one that's going to go out of there and be more on fire. And I'm not afraid to ask questions. And a lot of it was, okay, where are you building? How are you doing it? And it was a lot of host to posts. It was utilizing TikToks. It was utilizing social media, but then going back and doing the work. We'll get to this, your tips that you learned, Liz, because it comes back down to Savannah and from Megan when you were sitting at lunch. And you guys hear, now this is for people that want next level. If you want this next level, I need to see it in a comment. Do you want to know what these people are doing that got to the winner circle?
Type next level.
Amy, yes. Yeah. They're just going to keep typing.
We're getting all sorts of words in there. Yes. Eyes. Next freaking level. Love that one.
I love it. So this isn't to be like, go work harder or anything like that. They work their butt off. I'm going to tell you that. They don't just go, okay, I'm going to get 5 hosts to post up. I'm going to get 10 hosts to post up. Savannah gets 30 to 40 average a day. And so what that made me do was go, okay, we're giving you kind of a guide to follow, right? Like, okay, this is what you should be doing. If you want to be at that next level, and it took her a minute. She had said, she had to get in her rhythm, but I want 70 loyal customers by mid-month. I want 30 distributors by mid-month. They are doing that type of work. And now some of you work full-time, there's going to be things that you're like, okay, double up what you're doing. Like, can you make that work? Where can you work in this? And she made that decision. So that's up leveling. She also shared, and I'm going to have Liz share this, some tips on maybe you're feeling like, maybe my host to post are stuck. Does anybody feel like that? Like you're doing it, not really sure. Do you want to hear what some tips are on that?
Well, and this was something that was interesting too. I heard this to say, it says, what do you have to sacrifice to get what you want in life? Mm-hmm. But what are you willing to sacrifice in order to achieve it? So if what you have to sacrifice to get to what you want is different than what you're willing to sacrifice, you will get frustrated and you will never have what you want. So make sure, and because you guys are doing amazing at casting the vision, but make sure that you understand what you're willing to do. I mean, I'm sure she had to give up some stuff to do 30 host to posts a day. She probably had to give up some TV time, some YouTube time to get those 30 host to posts up. But she committed to it, and look at the reward and the harvest that she's getting from doing it.
Mm-hmm. So Liz, share that, because you were at lunch and you started talking to people, and I kind of put Liz in a position, and you guys know me, a lot of my leaders know me, I kind of leave you. It's not because I don't love you. It's like the mama bird. I'm pushing you out of the nest. The quicker you can get away from me, the more you're going to learn, and you're going to get different ideas and different outlooks and believe that you can do it. And so, yes, but when she's like, I want to be around Steph, I'm like, really? I kind of was like, see you later. Go figure it out.
Peace out.
She did. She did. I saw her just kind of, the more the time went on, the more she was like best friends with everybody. Stephanie Dunn doesn't matter anymore. So
Liz became the center of the circle.
What was your first aha at lunch tip?
The first aha was, one, sit beside someone you don't know. Mm-hmm. Number one, always sit with someone you don't know. No offense, team. I love you. I love my Ohana tribe, but you guys click and then you get stuck and you're like, why is everything dying? Why is host to post not working? I need scripts. No, you need to change your circle sometimes, and you need to get around the fire of others. Just because your team is on fire doesn't mean you can't go sit with someone else and learn more. That was number one. That was huge for me. Number two is don't be afraid to have your notebook at lunch or your phone and your charger. And on top of that, be ready to take notes. So I sat beside someone, and the first tip I got was how to grow your network. I said, how do you do it? How do you get unstuck with that? And she said, go to your friend, your Facebook, and scroll down, and you're going to see a friend with about 100 likes on that picture. Go to that, start looking through, and literally see if they sell something. And if they don't, add them. How many of you are going and just adding people because they're the friends you should request on Facebook, that little area? That's wrong. If you're going and just adding that way, but they were saying that this is literally how they expand to get host to post up, because they're always getting new people, because they are always adding, and they're adding people that are actually literally active on Facebook. If you're going to just add people and you're just like, oh, well, I got that check in the blocks because Stephanie put this checklist up in the We Are Legendary, you're doing it wrong. And so that was aha to me, was I was doing it wrong. I don't care about no one else. I was only like, oh my gosh, I've done this wrong. And I text Eileen and I said, we're doing it all wrong. And she was like, tips. I was like, no, wait till the Zoom. Like I got to keep on focusing in. The next tip is do step away from Stephanie, because you get to meet the upcoming leaders that are there. So she left me, guys, the short story. She kind of left me on a horse. Like I was on the horse, scared out of my mind, thinking they were going to get on the horses too. So I just jump on being adventurous. And then I realized I was on a wild, crazy horse that wanted to eat the whole time. So there's some great photos out there of me panicking. However, when I did that, that's when I met Cassandra, the girl that went diamond in 30 days in a hospital bed. So I'll ask you this, what's your excuse today? What legit is your excuse? Are you tired? Well, guess what? She was in pain and made diamond happen, but she said she needed it like she needed air. So I thought that was another aha moment for me. For Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, the other thing is find your platform leaders and stop trying to teach your team every single platform when you're not even good at it yourself. That was another aha moment for me. Mm-hmm. So if you're if you're in the grandma stages of life, like me and Stephanie are, they put me in that too. They're like, y'all are grandmas. I was like, Jesus, like at least I'm cool with tattoos, right? Like they were like, y'all are grandmas. I was like, well, whatever. I guess I am. But it was, what are you good at? What is your platform like? Where do you get the most traction from? Some people, it's going to be TikTok because they can keep up with all the 1,000 notifications from TikTok, or it's Instagram, or it's Facebook, but find your niche and stick with it, because ambassadors make it off of just Facebook alone. Like that was key to me, is that don't overwhelm your team as they're signing up. Get them with someone that can teach them Instagram if it's Instagram, or TikTok if it's TikTok. That was huge for me. And the one thing about your host to post is that you need to legit stick to like one or two and then change the wording and the pictures. And then you don't want to save it. So we were all saving our host to post. I was mind blown, Steph. Like I was like, oh, I'm really doing it wrong. Cause I said, man, I wasn't afraid to say at Winner Circle, my host to post are dead. What do you do to make yours work? And they said that they write it down. So you need your notepad, right? You need your notepad to write down, and then save your host to post to your Facebook about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours later. So Facebook doesn't flag it. And then you're not seeing a lot of traction. That was mind blowing to me, because a lot of people were saying the same thing. But then there were some people signing 70 customers, and it's the 12th of May. So I, at that point, was like, oh, I'm doing it all wrong. So that was the other thing that I have found. And then 7%.
So the reason why, you guys, is Facebook might recognize that saved post, host to post. So that's what we're thinking, is they've just recognized it. So we're constantly learning and switching things up. So that was a huge one to come back and go, okay, we just want to get unstuck. I'm just going to kind of piggyback off of what Liz said, because a lot of these girls, their strength was Facebook. We have YouTubes, we have videos, you can do all those things, but where do you want to work? 80% of the time is in your strength. The other 20% is where you're going to learn and add to. How they're getting this is also, you guys, me and Laura are talking about this, is you're getting all these people, adding them all new, getting a post, a host to post, and they're coming over to you, or a giveaway. And maybe you've messaged all of these people. Maybe they haven't become a customer yet. You got to do the wrap posts, before and after pictures, be a product of the product, and get those on your walls, because we see the wrap is blowing up again and people don't know about that. So making sure that you're doing that. And then in your stories, are you showing constantly that? Are you living the life? So it's kind of a all encompassing, like, okay, you guys know the things, but just hearing, okay, you can breathe. Stephanie just has Facebook, and that's okay. I can be strong in that and bring in the customers and distributors.
It's really not okay, but it's okay.
No, it's not, but it's making it work. And that's the thing, you guys, is I don't let anything stop me. Mm-hmm. I know that for me, God does this to show what's possible. If you think it's impossible, it will be, but I know that it's possible, and I'm going to push through that and go, you guys, I did it because I made a way. I wasn't just going to be, okay, I'm good with that. I'm going to, before I forget this question, Liz, this is a good one, is, how do you get distributors? Mandy, I think that was your question, is, if you can get a loyal customer, you can get a distributor. It's offering it. Going, hey, right now, I know you've been a customer and you've wanted to try some products, but for $20, you might as well try and make some extra money. You're going to get the product at the same cost. And I'm going to try to help get you your 5 customers, help you, right? We want to help them, do some posts, do some training, but you could get $100 by next week.
One of the things that we used to say all the time is you can try the products, or you can try the products and get paid at the same time. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was one of the things, is you want to try the products, you want to get results. Well, do you want to get results and make money? Mm-hmm. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah. So Liz, I see this in here. It's, save the post if you want to, in collections 5 to 6 hours. That's what they said. I was just trying to think of what else that they had said in there, but that was such a good tip to come back, because you guys are always like, what's the scripts? Well, the scripts are pretty much the same. Like, nobody really went off of changing up all the scripts that you have. It's just, we want more host to post up. how can we get seen, right? You guys know how to talk to them now, or you're learning to. So we need to get those up. And I think that will help so many of you. When you see, here's a tip too. If you see Gummies post, if you see that, go search in Pinterest, go search for a different picture so it's your own. If you have Gummies, take a picture of it, put it in the hand, look at some other pictures and kind of create your own, and that will give you a new one as well. So I think that would definitely help you guys get that out there. Okay, Liz.
So when I was picking Jenica's brain, that was, you guys left me then too. So I was like all in, eating and writing at the same time.
We're the worst leaders ever.
I loved it because I also walked to 7-Eleven. It's okay. I was all by myself at times. So it's okay to be by yourself, guys. Like, it's okay for the number one earners to go do their thing and you do yours, and then still come back and enjoy the moments. It was great. So once again, thank you guys for that. But posting, they were talking about, was like, what are your posts? You should have a lifestyle post, you should have a product post, and you should have your story posted once a day for given the opportunity. Instead of saying like, who wants an extra job, or like they were saying, be personable, because you're going to get those distributors that want to be a part of your team, which was mind blowing to me. I do it more like in a message when I'm talking to people, but it was getting out there and being more transparent. It's taking the photos, it's doing those things that are uncomfortable, because if you want to go to the next level, you have to be like the number one earners. You've got to be picture perfect almost at times. I'm getting there slowly, but surely I'll get my pictures there one day. But with that being said, it was getting out of the comfort zone. With that, they were said, one of the things that Jenica told me is she posts around, she gets up at, well, we'll talk about that. She gets up at 3:30 in the morning and she starts her day. And she said the hardest thing she's incorporating is working out, because she wants to be a product of the product. But the one thing she said that was amazing is that she goes to bed around 8 o'clock. And so she's trained her body to do these things. And that's how she went ambassador, was that she was disciplined. That was the key word that I've heard, was disciplined. And that she teaches one platform. That was all she said, was Facebook was their jam. And that anything can happen just doing with what works for you. So if you're older and you're like, I don't know TikTok, don't be afraid to just say, I don't understand it, because then your leader will be able to help you with the next thing that works for you. So don't ever feel like you have to just do it all. Just be loud as you're getting started, because I know we probably have some newer distributors on here, and just do what works for you. That was one of the things that was a takeaway. And it said, never stop posting about being a distributor. Even if it's $99, if it's $39, if it's $20, you should post about this daily, because that's how they mass enroll distributors every single day. There's no scripts. I hate to tell you guys, no one shared scripts, but the hottest haps around are always going to be Gummies, TFXX, and the Cleanse. And you need to switch up your pictures, and you need to switch up your wording. And you can be on a high cloud today and get, a lot of people messaging, and tomorrow your haps can go dead. So never feel like you're above. Always be willing to learn, because each person will tell you. And they also do giveaway host to post, because they're cycling in new distributors, new customers. That's where they're getting it. And if you're doing 20 host to post a day, you'll sign a distributor a day. Like you will. That was pretty much what they said. If you're disciplined enough to just do the things that you need to do so you can be retired, at age 40, whatever that I'm only thinking of myself. When I get out the military, I'm gonna be retired for good. It's just working those avenues to get to where you need to be. And also the aha moment was, once you get money, then pay your debt off. Don't just spend before you get it, and don't try to keep up with everybody else, and have your story. If you're inspired to be debt free, then pay your debt off. If you're inspired to lose weight, then take the products, be the product of the product. And the one thing I'll never forget what Stephanie said in there, and this goes for all of you because you're on this Zoom, is, do you have your auto shipment running on the first? And if you don't, you can't be in the circle. So and that was what she said to all of us, as real as it gets. That was exactly what it is be a product of the product. Mm-hmm. And a tip I have for all of you that was an aha moment for me today is, I am on a weight loss journey, been on it for a while. COVID hit me pretty hard. Having teenagers hit me pretty hard. But anyways, this lady told me sharing my life journeys of taking the products and being a product of the product inspired her to continue to take the products and be an API order after she stopped her auto shipment. So people are watching you regardless if you know it or not. They are there and they want to be a part of you because you're amazing. So continue to do what works for you, and it will work if you have consistency, because that was the other thing, was consistency, showing up daily and being consistent.
Yeah. So you guys don't forget too, when you're doing this and you're starting to see the same people, you've got to go and comment. You've got to go making sure that you're interacting. So we're, you know, it's like we talk about this week and that's what you're doing. And you forget to do all of the other things. So try to find a way to kind of reel it in and do a little bit of everything and focus on adding than just switching these up. And I would just write that in your KPIs in your calendar each day. So I don't have to go click the button. I can just open up my calendar and know, okay, these are the things that I need to do. These are the things. Oh, I feel like host up, start stuck. We just gave you that tip, or they're stuck. That's that. Maybe it's changing up the products. You can write those in your side notes. I love writing notes in my calendar of things to remind me of what to do when I feel away. Like, oh, this is why. And then to make that decision. That's all those girls did. Mm-hmm. They made a decision. And I think that's what fires me up even more. So I love it when you guys do private chats to me. I won't say your names out loud, but I love it when you do this, because one of the questions is, how do you go from stuck to on fire? And it's a decision. It's all right here. It's all what's in between your ears. What are you listening to? And I think just reading that message is you just made a decision. You want to be on fire. So you have to be the fire before anybody else can be the fire, like Liz was saying. So don't be afraid. Your life is amazing. You're on a Zoom with powerful people, women and men that are cheering you on. You are part of a huge community. We may not know who you are. People may not know who you are, but you need to speak about sharing and taking these pictures with, I was just on a fire Zoom. So what you want, you need to speak, right? The power is in the tongue. And I want you to speak life. I want you to see it. I want you to go know where you're going. And I learned so much of that from Joel. Like, I'm so grateful that he came in my life when he did. I had it in me to believe things, but he is one to really see that in others more so than a lot of people. And he was raised that way. So he always believed he could do whatever he wanted. And so you transferred that over to me. And I know that's why I'm passionate about it as much as I can. I mean, yeah, I believe I can do anything. That was in there, but then having someone being that person, you have something.
Yeah, because
I was like, was I reading your mind? Like,
you were right there.
What was I doing?
I read this to the girls in the circle, it kind of goes along with that. It says, in order to be successful and to truly have what you want in life, you must stop waiting to be told what to do and how to do it. Your goals, decisions, and commitments, if you can't see them for yourself, how can anyone else see them for you? Mm-hmm. So if you can't see your goals and dreams for yourself, how can you expect myself, Stephanie, Liz, to see them for you? You have to stop waiting for us to show you how to do it and just go out and do it. Just kind of like the how do you go from stuck to being on fire? You just do it. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that was such a powerful slogan when Nike came out with it? Because nobody had ever thought about stuff like that before. Mm-hmm. Everybody always pondered it. Well, maybe I should. What should we do? There was a lot of people talking about it, but the people that were getting things done just did it. Mm-hmm. So go out and just go on fire.
Yeah, not care if you get
correct
no's. It's going to happen regardless. Like, people don't pay your bills. Mm-hmm. I remember being in that hard place, you guys. We were so broken. I was like, I don't care if people think I'm crazy or they don't think this works, or maybe they were part of It Works and they're going to say something bad. People can have their opinions. Mm-hmm. They're going to about you with or without the business. And I don't want them to rule your life. I want somebody to see something and speak something so strong over you. And that was another wake up call for me, was just get out there and do it. Like, that's what I want for you. I love, where did I just read this? it clicked for me. There's a newbie here and they're like, thanks for all this great info. You guys, when I got started, nobody told me what to do. I would just went to into the e-suite and clicked on everything possible that I could because I wanted it. I didn't want to wait and go up, try to ask a question and it didn't get answered for a week. I wasn't willing to wait. I was going to go figure it out. So if you want this, if you want more, if you want to level up and you're like, well, my leader isn't getting back to me and, you know, I need this answer, go find it, type it, Google it, do those things. That's what I did. And I still do. Like, you guys, new promotion comes out and I get a text and they're like, do you know the details? It's like, I'm new too. And I got to go research that too myself. So I'm like, I don't know. I got to go look it up myself too. So we all have the tools. Sometimes it's just easier to ask instead of going and finding those questions or those answers.
And this is pretty much the statement that sums all that up. Tell yourself what to do and stop waiting for others to lay it out for you. One of the things that was super important, I don't know if anybody caught what Liz said, it was make a post every single day for distributor.
Yeah, that was good.
Guys, every day you don't post about being a distributor or wanting a distributor is every day that you're not going to sign up a distributor. Think about that. If you go 3 days in a row without talking about wanting distributors or about your business was closed for 3 days straight. Be very intentional and focused on asking for distributors and you will get distributors.
Yeah.
It may not be every day, but you need to ask every day.
And I can take accountability for myself and go, man, I used to be so good about doing that on Facebook. And then I kind of went over and did my thing on Instagram, like stories. And so it's almost like a wake up call. Like, no, I need to be loud and bold and put it out there because I really don't care if you don't want to do it or not. I want the ones that are going to do it. So I need to be louder about that. Like, I came back going, I do not care that I don't have an Instagram. I'm so angry that I don't, but that's not going to make me win. It's me deciding that I'm going to get the workout. I'm going to find the right people. And maybe they're on Facebook, maybe they're in person. I don't care, but whoever comes around, we're going to do this. And I'm going to speak that over people. The new girl that signed at the hotel, I said, just so you know, you're going to be VIP. I already said to people, you're going to come, you're going to be diamond. You're going to hit these ranks. I spoke it over her immediately. I believe that because I see what's possible. I've seen you guys crush it right now. When you make a decision, it happens. When you don't, and
nothing
you're like,
happens.
Oh, my host posts are slowing down. Oh, maybe that's not working. I don't know. Maybe I've talked to everybody. You start feeding that negative mindset, cut it out. Go
create your own confidence.
Watch the Zooms, get on the morning, the night Zooms, whatever you need to do, because people are killing it like over and over. And I think, you know, I've said this before, you will find whatever you're searching for. So be careful. You're going to find exactly what you're looking for. And it's a good reminder for me because going to the winner's circle, I don't just sit there and go, okay, I'm here. I deserve it. I worked because I see newbies coming in, people coming in, or people that have been in 5 years, 7 years at winner's circle that made a decision. So there was new people that came in. There was people that were sat at 7 years that fell backwards, lost rank, and now they're on fire. So that's the type of person, if that's the leader you want to be, you can do that. And then there's people that have just been consistent like me, because I'm like, well, you little young things think you're going to come over. Well, I got to be a face and be an old person. I am not old, but whatever, to them, they think I'm old. And I will own up to it. I don't care. I have a lot of life to go prove. So I'm going to do that. So it was just so encouraging to know that you guys get to make a decision after that. So really with the tips, it was a lot with doing the host to posts. I was like, holy cow, they're getting up 30 to 40. No wonder you're a mass recruiter. I've set my bar too low. I've spoke that too low over my team. I need to speak 30 to 40 over them because they deserve it. So you're going to start hearing me say that more and more, because I don't want you guys to settle to hit it just because we put it up in the team. Like, did you get your ton host to post up? Don't do it for the post, do it for the customers, the distributors. So it might take you 30 to 40 to get that role.
Like
and
Liz
that
said,
was aha
don't
for
just
me.
check the box check the box. Check it with purpose.
And this is for, like I said, for the people that want to level up, that are ready. And newbies, if you're like, oh my gosh, what am I getting into? You should be super excited because
Getting
you're
into
going to
super awesome time. That's what's
see
happening.
and hear this and know, oh my gosh, I can do these things. This is what I want. And maybe it was supposed to be spoken over your life. Liz, did you have anything else on your notes? Probably.
Of course, I always do. One of the things I think Joel or someone said, and I wrote it down, it was Leadership 101. So for anyone, even if you're getting started and you're like, I don't know how this applies to me, I can break it down for you. Is you do it, you teach it, you recognize it. And then you when you recognize people and you show the love to them, you start to build the confidence. So if you're brand new in this and you're like, I don't have a team, you better be recognizing those customers so they continue to give you more orders. Like, you're rocking it, you're killing it, you're doing that thing. I just saw API orders from Hood. Like, those are the things, like, if you're doing that and you're recognizing it from the customers all the way to the distributors that you sign, that's huge. One of the things that I want to speak is that you have to, I saw it in the chat. I messed up my chat. I don't understand IMAX at all. Like, I'm still figuring it out. But I saw it in the chat about God. And guys, and I said this and Joel was like, yeah, when I said it, you guys, if something's on your heart to go talk to someone, remember they put their pants on just like you. Mm-hmm. And so I went to a top leader and I said, you may think I'm crazy, but God told me I needed to talk to you about this. And right then and there, it changed. Me and Stephanie were like mind blown later on how me talking to her helped her talk to someone else who broke down someone whose walls are higher than the Great Wall of China. And she was crying, and the just being around people and following God's will and praying over your business and doing the things that these leaders are telling you. Stephanie and Joel didn't get to where they are. I mean, they're beautiful. They're a great looking couple, but they didn't get there off their looks. They got there off of consistency and willing to teach others. And so if they're talking to you, listen. If you have someone talking to you, listen to them, because it's huge. And so I now have a friend off of just following God, and I never thought that person, I would ever meet that person in my life. So you never know whose life you're going to change by just following God's will. That was probably my biggest aha moment, Joel, is like when I said, if I don't do this, my business is going to fail. So I've got to talk to her. Like, and I was nervous and I was like, she probably thinks I'm this crazy girl with all these tattoos, but I went up and it was life-changing. So follow God's will in this business, because God put you here for a purpose and for a reason, and you are going to go up. You're going to glow up if you show up. And like, that's just the end of the story for me. Is all these tips can happen, but it's all about intentional. And that was the one thing I took from Rachel Jones, is that Stephanie was like, are you going to bed? And I said, no, I'm going to sit right here. And I sat down for another 2 hours. And the one thing I got from everyone was that you could do this business all day long. And I remember Joel saying this, you can be on a Zoom all day long, but if you're not being intentional with your time, then you're not going to get anywhere. So you can be there for the community of that, but the community isn't going to pay for your bills, but intentional time will. Mm-hmm. And so if you set time every single day to be intentional, first thing in the morning, get your host to post up, make those messages before you go to bed. If you get up and decide, hey, I work a job, but I can be triple diamond. So for the people on here, if you didn't know, I hit triple diamond and I've been in the military 14 years. So you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And so just know that with that is just intentional time. Don't focus on things you can't control, but focus on what you can, and you will see yourself go. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Like, all I can say is just do it. Like, that was my number one thing to my team, is don't ask questions, just work. Like, get those 5 customers, get that in, do the $100. Cause how many of you can use $100? I mean, I want to go do a pedicure with $100, right? Like, I'm that person. So do what you want with your money, but work for it and have a goal so you can achieve it, and it will happen. And the pace of the leader is the pace of the team. So pace yourselves, leader, to greatness, so your team will follow you. Yeah. That's all I have.
I love that. Well, hey, all that you have was pretty amazing, yeah. Liz. So I feel like we may have to do another Zoom or something, because I've got so much in my head downloaded. But she said something, and I actually posted it today. So you guys, we had the winner circle, which was amazing. She gave the tips. I wanted to make sure you guys got some of these tips to start implementing these, so you have more success with the things that we know a lot of the customers come from, is host to post. Don't forget to also have them do host to post for distributors. Like we need to make sure we can do those as well. And if you're getting the host to post up for customers when you're talking to them, that's where you can swing, especially right now, you guys. Every single person, you better be offering the $20. The worst case, they're just going to be a customer for you. And that's not a bad thing. It's a customer. So making sure that you know that. So from Winner's Circle, seeing the vision, Mark talked about dreaming, dreaming bigger. Maybe you hit the goal. Maybe you dreamed of being diamond and that's what you dreamed of and you're stuck there. You need to envision, what do you want more? Maybe it's somebody else that should be a diamond on your team. Don't be selfish and just be for you. And I think a lot of the girls that were there is you want more people on your team to see this. You want, people to catch that vision and to catch that dream. And so from Winner's Circle, did you have anything that you had like aha from Winner's Circle before we jump into the next day? Because I'm going to give them 5 minutes of what we did after.
No, just know that you can do it. That's the thing, is when you put your mind to it, and that's exactly what everybody was there that accomplished. They put their mind to something. It wasn't like they just woke up one morning and were like, I'm going to go to Winner's Circle. No, they had to earn it. They had to put in the work. Mm-hmm. Every single day. There was no days off. It was, they wanted to win the contest. Guys, life is the contest. We are blessed to have the opportunity to do this business full time and change lives. Connect with that. Connect with the fact that, this business is something that you have that can give you freedom to pick up and go to Florida for 3 days. Mm-hmm. But only if you put in the work, kind of like what Liz was saying, like I said. So Liz said that I said that don't just get on Zooms and expect your business to grow. Guys, the thing is with personality types, 80% of people are blues. 80% of people just want the community. But like Liz said, the community isn't going to pay your bills. The work is. Mm-hmm. So enjoy the community, but the community is here to encourage you to live out your dreams. Mm-hmm. So if you're not living out your dreams, go out and start doing something about that. So we have something to cheer you on about. We have something to keep you accountable to. Mm-hmm. If you want to hit that next level, let us know so that we can check in and say, hey, where are you on hitting those goals? Did you get your 5? Guys, get your 5. It's Tuesday.
You got till Friday at
midnight. Till Friday at midnight to get your 5, to get your $100. So important. Why would you leave $100 sitting on the table? Just go do some host-to-posts really quick. Get those 5. I want a bunch of 5s posted here tomorrow in the team page going, look, I got my 5. I got my 5. I've got my 5. I've got my 5. I want to see that stuff. Tag me in it.
Yeah, you guys, so coming from that and knowing that they were going to roll this out with the 5 loyal customers. So 3 loyals gets you $20, 5 gets you $100. What I love about this, you guys, is encourage the right behavior. And I think a lot of you are like, I'm a mass recruiter or even a recruiter for a loyal customers, right? And so it's rewarding you. So you can earn $100 in a week. They're going to do it all over. It resets this Saturday. So Saturday to the next Friday, it'll do another 100. So if you get 5, you'll get another 100. If we crush it, they're going to keep this around. I feel like they'll keep this around. So think about that. Like if this was part of our comp plan and they added 2. So they're not taking anything away from our comp plan. They're adding 2. So if you did 5 customers every week, that's an extra $400 in your bank account every single month. That's a lot of money, right? Like I'm just thinking, well, shoot, me and Joel each have an account. Like that's an extra $800 because you better believe I'm going to try to maximize out the comp plan the best way that I can. And so I want to do a comp, like how do you make the most money? I just need to talk to you guys about that and how my brain thinks, because I went up to Mike and Cammie and said, this is what I'm thinking. Can we do this? Absolutely. So I want to make sure that you guys understand how to maximize making all the money. But for right now, I want you to focus on go after your 5 by Friday. Friday by midnight, 5 loyal customers, that's an extra $100. Then we get to do it again. What that's going to do is it's going to bring up volume. It's going to bring up promotions. It's going to bring everything in that you're working towards, but you're just going to get even more money throughout that journey. So I love that. So it helps people that they come into this business. They're like, well, do I need to be a recruiter of distributors? I don't really want to build the business. Well, if you get customers, yeah, you can make money. Because now going Ruby, just say it was there. They did 5 lower customers each week. That's $400 plus their commission checks and whatever cash. It's almost $800. I think you have the income that they could make as a Ruby, a new Ruby. So that was huge for me to hear kind of how that broke down.
But guys, it is so important that we crush it these next 2 weeks.
I want to keep it
because this is a test
Yes.
to see how well this works. If it works, they will probably bring it back sometime next month. So let's crush it so that we have the ability to do it again. I mean, for me, it just doesn't make sense. It's like they want us to do something to make more money so that we do awesome at it so that they can turn around and give us more money again next month. So let's just go ahead and go make more money.
What it does long term too, guys, is it gives you, when you have a sense of urgency, you put in the work. So think month end. So people that are in this business, it's like everybody decides the 25th happens and everybody gets to work. So now if we could keep that consistent, like things are going to be huge. Like I'm just super excited about it just because I've been in the business for so long. I know the power of something like this. So that's where I'm excited about it. So I'm just going to come into this real quick. I feel like I need to do like a few back-to-back Zooms. So I'm not taking up your time because we got work to do. Like I'm dying, guys, because I need to work. I'm dying. But we did a contest. And so we were with 5 girls that won this past weekend. And it was coming from the winner's circle and hearing Mark talking about dreaming, being around the fire. These girls all worked really hard to do this. And they have the vision, they have the fire, they want more. Some of them have a little bit of fear of, I don't want to lose this, but use your fear to keep pushing you and to dream. And, to see some of the girls just see some things. We got up early. I feel like I was a Tashina and got up and I said, okay, I'm going to go watch the sunrise. I'm a sunset girl, not a sunrise girl. I'd rather be out late. So we went up to the beach and just walked the beach a little bit as the sun was coming up. And Mel said to us, to me and you, and this was another aha for me. Do you ever just pinch yourself? And I was like, I had to step back for a second. And I looked at Joel and we just haven't had that question asked. And I'm like, no, I mean, I should, because this is my life. We've created this where we get to go and do the things and give back and do these contests and be around people. And that's what I fought so hard for. And it just made me go, I need to appreciate that more. And I need to be loud about those things. So even the little things, like going to the beach, even if you don't have the money yet, going and doing things that make you happy. And so I appreciate my hard work. I appreciate the people that I'm around because they inspire me. I appreciate the negativity from people because it makes me go, I don't want to be like that. And I don't want to be around that. So I'm always constantly thinking about all those things. But, what do you want? I have to dream bigger. And I think that aha led to me going, well, I want you guys to do that. I don't want to be in that position. I want you to be the next ones to be having the retreats and kind of taking on that torch and having those things. So that was a big aha for me. So we did that, and it was a short day, but we did a lot. So we did the sunrise, then we went to the beach, did cabanas, or we did photos because we had to do, photos for the day, and then cabanas, and then dolphin sunset.
I'm sorry, you forgot about the 4-foot water slide.
Oh, we did.
Oh, sorry,
no,
4-story
water slide. We did all of these things, but I'm going to leave you guys with this because I did write it on my page today. Is I love the ocean. I love I love the sound of the waves. And you guys might have this place where it gives you a sense of calm, a sense of peace. It just makes you happy. And I love the ocean. I love the palm trees. I love the color of the water. I hate getting in the water. I love everything, but all of the things that are in the water. And I was the first one to go out there, and I go to the beach, but I don't go like in the water. It's kind of weird. And I had this moment, I had these little floats and I was like, I'm going out in this water. And everybody else was back at the beach. And I'm like, I'm walking in. I started walking in. I start seeing all these little creatures. I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. Walk back out. Go walk back. I'm like, I know people are watching me. I'm like trying to get in like 5 different times. And I kept thinking about was all these horrible things that are in the water. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And my brain was working overtime to make me not go in there. And I was like, dang it, Steph. No, you got these floats. You're going in the friggin' water. You're going to enjoy it. And, you know, I needed some time to enjoy what we worked so hard for. And so I finally got in the water and it took me a minute. And I'm so glad that Brandy was there to take a picture of me. And I didn't realize that this was going to be a story that I needed to share. And again, it comes down to the stories. What is going on in your life that you can help somebody relate to? And it's a lot like this business. As I was on the plane, I'm reading all this, and Joel's like, make sure you save that so it doesn't get deleted because you know you're in airplane mode and all the crazy things. And so I saved it, but I thought, it's a lot like this business. We can have these negative thoughts of, oh man, my host to post aren't working, or these things aren't working. But what we are looking for is what we'll see. And like the water, I was starting to see all these giant things that I didn't want to see. And then the moment I was in there, it was like they all went away. And I was like, what was I so afraid of? Like, it's all great. All these things are good. And I'm so glad that I did that. And now I can use this story. I didn't really realize that that was going to be part of the story that I was going to be able to share with you guys today. But I want you to know that there's a lot of people looking for this business opportunity. And there's a lot of people that aren't. Which one do you want to look for? And that's what I want you guys to know is the power of our mind. It's not about how amazing you are at taking photos. It's not about, are you the most, have you done this network marketing? You're an amazing network marketer. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to that decision of what are you looking for? Are you going to put yourself out there? Are you going to be bold? Are you not going to care what people think? Because there's a lot of people that want to take you out or say, you're still doing that thing. That doesn't work. Or I tried that before. It doesn't work. Well, we don't know what they were told or what was going on and what they were looking for. And so I just want to make this as a reminder to you guys of, as you're writing down your story, as you're doing all these things and getting your content out, there's going to be people or things that you can look for that can take you out, or you're going to be able to look at this and go, I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to do the best that I can. And I'm going to be proud of myself. I was just proud of myself. I got in the water. Nobody else knew that. Nobody else. I didn't share that there, that I really was scared. Like I went back and forth a few times, like in and out, like tiptoe in, come back out, tiptoe in, come back out. And that's okay if that's what you're doing with this business. There's going to be that moment, that one click that you're like, screw it. I'm going in. I'm just going for it. I can do it. I don't care what people think anymore. I'm doing this for me. I'm excited. I've got amazing products. I have the best friends in the world because of this. I've gotten better at photos. So we've got great photos with people all around the world. And I want more of those. Like I want to be able to have all of those things. So that is my prayer for you guys, is that you have courage, that you are bold, that you don't care, that you see that you're worthy of it, that your story matters, and that I can't wait to see you on the island, because there is every reason for you to be there. I don't want to say there's not reasons to be there, because I want to keep saying this over you, that there's every reason for you to go out and you to be at the island. And that's kind of in a nutshell what I took. I hope that you guys can feel what me and Liz felt. We said, how do we bring this back and share this? Because there were so many amazing things, but I think you can tell just from what we've shared, it's not always about the tips and tricks. It's about the grit. It's about the heart. It's about the decision to get out there and do it, and that people will be attracted to you, and the right people will be attracted to you. And I think that was what I had to look at was, you got to put in the work though. You just got to do it. You can't just pray about it. You just got to get out there and do it and see, okay, be the hands and the feet and just get to work. So did you have anything from this weekend or our little trip from the week? I don't even know what day we're on. From the last girls trip. Did you see anything that, no, we're good. All right. I love you guys. That was a long Zoom. I had a lot of information. I have a lot more information, but I am just excited for us to just crush this week. I'm going to touch base later this week. I feel like I haven't seen you in 3 months or something. It's so weird. But I want you guys to know that there's more to come. It's exciting. We're going to do this. And the people that that want to push for the winner's circle, and it's not going to be everybody, or maybe you want to go to that next level and really heighten things up, then we're going to do that. And we're going to run with you. And we want that for you guys.
Trust me, if you push to go to the winner's circle, you won't be upset if you don't make it with your check, because your check will be incredible. So just shoot for it. Shoot for going to the island and see what happens.
Yeah. They're talking about, I saw a dolphin, Amanda. I did see a dolphin. I was about ready to go in I would have went in for the dolphin, but no other animal. Like there's no way. So I just love you guys. We're going to hit record, but then, or end real quick.